to Tale of the Tape. Brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment. It's your boys, your host Craig here with my co-host.
Your mustache of media, Michael Johnson.
Loving it. All right, so this past weekend, no UFC, but what we did have was a big-time, big-name boxing event. Devin Haney defending his belt against Ryan Garcia.
The best, boxing match I've seen in a while. It got some good hype around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I imagine it sold a lot of pay-per-views.
100%, thanks to Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, big hype up. It didn't disappoint. It was a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
Pretty technical.
Absolutely. Ryan Garcia proved all the naysayers wrong. Yeah. Said that not only was he outmatched, but that he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
And now people are saying maybe he faked that.
Well, he says himself that that he played everybody, made us think he's crazy, so that the bet line could get down, and apparently bet money on himself, even won millions of dollars.
Yeah, bet $2 million, won 12. That's not a bad day in the office. Must be good. Different rules in boxing, allowed to bet on yourself.
Yeah, I didn't really look into it. I've been pretty busy.
Yeah,
but it was pretty exciting. You seen Devin Haney show a lot of good skill. Showed why he was the undefeated champion.
Absolutely.
He showed fortitude.
Incredible fortitude.
Ryan Garcia, 3 pounds overweight, so we got a little controversy.
He claims that Mayweather is the one who gave him that suggestion to come
I saw
in
that. Interesting.
3 pounds over.
Interesting. Knowing that it would make him not, eligible to win the titles.
Yeah.
So pretty strange there. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know why you won't, cut the 3 pounds, to get the belts. That kind of bothers me a little bit.
I mean, maybe for him it wasn't about it couldn't have been about the belts if you're coming in intentionally 3 pounds over, drinking a beer, walking up to the scale.
It was pretty obvious it was intentional, right?
Yeah.
And
it seems that way.
And 3 pounds is a big difference, where you haven't depleted yourself. And, Devin Haney obviously was depleted all the way, dehydrated all the way. And Ryan Garcia was fast, strong, too much power, too much speed. And he just piled up the damage on him.
Man, and then showboating at the end, dancing around in his face. I mean, at the end of the day, he put on a show, and he got a clear victory.
What I wanted to ask you, I was thinking about this earlier. Do you think he learned a little something from some of these UFC guys in, how they have to act to get people's attention?
I wouldn't say that that's out of the realm of possibility.
Considering he's a young fighter.
I mean, the UFC has shown the format. You want to get paid big bucks, not only do you have to be great, you have to sell yourself to the fans. You got to sell the fights,
yeah.
I mean, I would venture to say the top 5 most popular UFC fighters are probably universally more famous across people who don't follow the sport than the top 5 boxers right now.
Absolutely. These days, I would say so. You reach such a wide variety of people. But I'm glad that he drew everybody's attention to boxing.
Absolutely.
Made us pay attention. He needed the win probably more than the championship, like you said, after losing to Tank Davis there that. I don't know. Gets him probably another big fight.
Absolutely. And here's the thing too, as great it is, and I've never been a fighter. I've never fought for a championship, and as great as that championship is, as great as that belt is, the belt don't pay bills.
No, it doesn't.
The belt don't put food on the table. The winning, the money, and betting on yourself to win, that's what's putting the food on the table.
I mean,
and keeping the lights on.
He got around $20 million with the purse and the pay-per-view buys, and then you add 12 on top. I mean, that's quite the payday for such a young man. And hats off to him.
Yeah. Lighter news: Luke Rockhold had a victory over Lyoto Machida in K1 kickboxing. Right. A separate promotion than the the premier K1
Yeah, they do.
kickboxing.
They have different levels, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
And so Luke Rockhold won, and out of the woodwork comes Michael Bisping saying he would be up for, he said the trilogy, and I didn't know that they fought each other a first time.
Yes, where Rockhold got him.
Oh,
Rockhold
okay.
beat him first, yeah.
I never saw the first fight.
During Rockhold's climb to the title, and I believe he choked him unconscious. He
Oh.
got him in the rear naked choke, and Bisping doesn't tap, you
No.
know, especially to a choke. But I think that's probably more because, you know, he's seen that Machida and Rockhold performed well. Like, you know, Rockhold could still do it well, and he's like, hey, there's a format where I could probably still compete, you know. And
Yeah.
Bisping was a kickboxer before MMA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Okay.
started as a kickboxer.
Nice.
So
And I mean, I could see the appeal. It does have a payday to it because one of the biggest upsets in UFC, you know, no one expected Michael
yeah.
Bisping to pull off that dub.
Right.
Luke Rockhold, neither did he, which is why he ended up getting knocked out. He didn't respect him.
and I
So,
think it's big for those promotions like that where they get these aged veterans,
Yeah.
you know, that have a name,
Correct.
have a you know, outstanding rivalry still from a different promotion, a different sport. Yeah, you bring them together in like K1 or BKFC, and it makes for a huge fight.
and you can close that chapter out.
Yeah,
So,
and the old guys can get a good payday.
absolutely.
It's all good all the way around. Yeah.
All right, so we didn't have a fight last week,
Right.
And so I had, I always love to put together, you know, fantasy fight cards, you know, fights we'd like to see, fights that should happen, and I know one topic we've talked on a lot is the lack of love for the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they don't
Absolutely.
get promoted as well. It's very rare that they're the main event of a pay-per-view
Yeah,
or
very true.
or even if Amanda Nunes, how much disrespect did she get throughout her tenure in the
Even
UFC?
when they have a big personality.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they don't, and it's it's a real problem. you
Correct.
know?
So I thought it would be dope to have a ladies' night card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took some time. I really thought about it. Excuse me, and I put together what I would think would be a pay-per-view worthy
Okay.
ladies' night card. And if you're gonna have a ladies' night card, what do you think? Should I start from the bottom, work my way up, or start from the top and work my way down?
Let's go from the bottom, build it up. Yeah.
All right, so this fight right here, it's
Early prelims.
early prelims.
Okay.
Starting it off, like I stacked this card. A picture UFC 300, but just all ladies. Right?
There's the rosters are deep enough.
The rosters are deep enough that you can load this up.
Yeah.
Now, this first fight, at first words, might sound like, well, this is kind of a mismatch. But the entertainment value and the stylistically, I love this fight. Jessica Andrade taking a step down for money and entertainment to fight Molly the Meatball McCain.
That stylistically, it is a great fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jessica Andrade is risking it all.
Yeah.
But Molly also taking a little risk, jumping up a little higher than maybe she should.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Andrade is always like perennially overranked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On her power because she got stopping power anytime.
Correct.
I don't feel like she really won this last fight so much.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it's really out of Molly's wheelhouse too.
Correct.
Because the matchup is great.
The matchup would be
They'll
exciting.
stand and bang.
Uh-huh.
Molly's got some knockout power too.
And fortitude.
Yeah. Got a good chin and got a good jiu-jitsu. Like, yeah,
It could be entertaining.
that's a good one.
All right, and then I had
That's a good fight for the early prelim.
right?
Yeah.
You know? And then I wanted to keep it fun. Got to bring in Michelle Watterson Gomez
Absolutely.
versus the unsung hero, Jillian Robertson.
Oh, I like it. Because Robertson's striking is pretty trash, like always,
Yeah.
you know, but her jiu-jitsu is great.
Incredible.
It's great. And Watterson can hang. You know, she got great ground game, too.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that's a fight she could win, but Jillian could get it done too.
It could go either way, depending on the person's strategy.
I think Watterson on the losing streak now.
Yes.
And Jillian's. I think she might have won her last 2.
I think she did win her last 2, so it could be extremely entertaining. I put 4 fights on the early prelims, but this one right here got me super excited. One name rings out very well. The other one had her moment, is now back on the rise. Angela Hill versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
I like it. They may have fought before already. I'd have to look that up.
They may have fought
because they've both had a lot of fights. They're always entertaining.
And they're 2 strikers.
Unhurtable. Like it's hard to hurt them. And they'll just keep coming forward.
And I think this would have the ability to be a sneaky fight of the night.
And maybe a sneaky grappling match.
Very possible.
When the 2 strikers negate their talents and have to clinch it up, and that would be good. Yeah, I like it.
All right, and then I had to go with the main event of the early prelims, Battle of the Cuties, Amanda Ribas versus Tracy Cortez.
Okay. Yes. Ribas, she's just not prepared for the next level. You know, like she keeps losing to the big names.
And Tracy just keeps knocking on that door.
Just keeps winning.
Yeah.
And keeps winning. And I don't know. I feel like they need to give her a good opponent.
And what better of opponent?
That's a little high.
It is high. It is high. But I feel like if you're gonna do something like this, you gotta swing for the fences. And I think that these 2 could put on a very entertaining matchup. And if you can't beat Amanda Ribas, I mean Tracy Cortez she's either undefeated in the UFC or has 1 loss.
Yeah.
So people have jumped with less.
Right.
So I think it could be extremely entertaining.
And she's a good grappler, and I mean, Ribas is a great grappler, but always just wants to strike for some reason.
Absolutely. Next on the list, this is kind of like the second fight, but just up at the highest level. Mackenzie Dern versus Marina Rodriguez.
Oh, that's a high-level fight.
High level.
High title, implications, even title eliminator, even yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
I think Dern's another one who's almost has her striking together, almost
but just missing it.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, and if she can, I've heard it before, and I couldn't agree more. If she could get her striking down, she might be the most dangerous woman in her division.
I don't think she punches well, but she needs to pressure less. She's got her foot on the gas, and she's punching when there's no openings and stuff like that.
Leaving herself open.
If she calms down and lets the fight come to her a little more, I think, and tries to learn how to counterpunch, I think she'll be pretty good.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of a Ronda Rousey.
She could throw some big shots, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next on the list, I got Raquel Pennington versus Ketlin Vieira. Now, I'm going to say, to add this caveat, this was with the assumption that Raquel Pennington has already lost her belt to Kayla Harrison. So I want to put that caveat in there. This is with that assumption. And I don't know if that's too far-fetched of an assumption to make.
Raquel Pennington fans would probably be upset.
Correct.
But, Kayla Harrison fans would say it's a foretold conclusion.
Exactly.
Which, it's hard to argue, but we'll see.
Yeah. And Raquel Pennington, seasoned vet, no matter what, you look forward to seeing her fight until she gets in the octagon and doesn't bang like she knows she can.
Right, when she's winning the striking battle too, just keep punching already. Why are you clinching?
It's super frustrating. One, you're extremely durable.
Yes.
You could take a hit. Two, when you start unloading on people, they cower.
And you're winning each exchange. Did you not notice that?
Yeah.
Keep punching.
There's something up with her confidence when it comes to entering into the strikes. All right. Now we got to go another step up in the strawweight division. I got Amanda Lemos versus Yan Xiaonan.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Lemos with the long striking and well-rounded. We've seen that, Xiaonan got great boxing in tight, but the distance can mess with her.
Yeah.
So I might pick Lemos in that one. But then Jan could try to wrestle her, and
then it becomes a whole different game.
Yeah.
But two of the best in the division, trying to see if either one of them can get another opportunity at a chance at that belt.
Great fight, top level.
And then we move to the main event of the prelims, and I think that this is an underrated matchup. I think it's a matchup that all the fans would love to see, and for some reason is not being talked about. Thug Rose Namajunas versus Macy Barber.
I think it's the fight to make.
Yeah.
For sure. They still have Rose ranked too high too. I think she hasn't proved herself in the flyweight division.
Well,
enough.
I mean, you lost against one of the top. First of all, you changed divisions, which I always feel like that should drop you a couple points.
Well, yeah, 'cause if it's a hey, I can't compete in that division anymore. Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I don't know if it's that she can't compete in that division anymore. I don't know if that's the case because she's actually beaten everybody of worth in that division. The only person she has at least since she's been was the champ. The only person she had a genuine loss to was her name? The one who just took the belt from her last.
Whaley or
No.
Esparza?
Carla Esparza.
Yeah.
Like, she lost to her first fight, her debut, and then lost to her with the belt. But everybody else, lost. Everybody else, she's beat pretty handedly. So
she just maybe didn't want to cut weight.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is.
And
I think she didn't want to cut weight anymore, and
wanted to fight new people instead.
Yeah, something.
I don't know.
But I think that it's probably the truest test to Macy Barber.
Yes.
And this win would say Thug Rose is ready for a title shot. Whether or not she would get it after that, it would put her right in the contention.
I like it for sure. Yeah.
All right, and then we got to jump into the main card, and the first fight will tell you everything about how dope this main card will be. Because starting the main card, I got Juliana Pena versus Irene Aldana.
Oh yeah, wrestler versus boxer.
Yes.
More or less. Pena can get dirty on the feet though, and she can take a mean shot.
And I feel like she does actually prefer to stand and bang.
Yeah,
she loves the throwing of the hands.
She's a good puncher, but she doesn't have good footwork.
No,
and
she's just a straight charge it. She's charging forward.
Aldana is pretty, crisp. Pure boxer, so I think she'd give her a lot of trouble, and Pena would have to take her down.
I think you would see,
but then Pena would probably beat her up on the ground.
I think you would see a fight similar to when Amanda Nunes fought Jermaine Durandamy.
Yeah, right.
She'll lose on the feet and have to take it to the ground.
Yeah.
All right, and then even bigger fight: Valentina Shevchenko versus Erin Blanchfield.
Okay. We've seen, Valentina against, high-level grappler.
Struggle.
Can have a little bit of a struggle, You might have a little bit of an edge on her. And, she might smother her with the wrestling. But she might get sniped before then.
Exactly. And we all know
That's
Valentina
exciting.
Shevchenko can catch you at any moment.
That's an exciting fight.
Yeah.
I like that. And I want to see Valentina again. I want to see her back.
Gotta see her. I know, and we have to wait a while. And I want to also say, another caveat, this is with the assumption that Valentina Shevchenko has lost the third rematch after Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
I just want to put that caveat in as well because it leads me to the further fights. Then you have the co-main event, 5-round title fight, another fight that should have been happened already, Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez.
Yes, Suarez just having all kinds of trouble.
She's the Khabib,
with the injuries.
Constantly getting injured.
But worse though, she's dealt with terrible injuries with the knees and had to battle back through long rehabilitation. And if she could stay healthy, she's so dangerous. What a great wrestler.
Yep.
And
Oh man, the way
Whaley's
she can.
so well rounded, like, you know.
Whaley is very strong. I think that Tatiana Suarez.
Tatiana's big.
I've loved her since The Ultimate Fighter,
Yeah.
and I feel like had we not had so many injuries, we might have seen her with the title for a long time.
I think at least she would have definitely, you know, been in a title fight, whether she would have
won it or
yeah,
not.
for sure.
But she has that. She's like the female Khabib. Once she gets you on the ground, it's constantly, you know, progressing to the next position. Great ground and pound, and someone I need to see get her shot at the title. So that excites me.
Fabulous fight. Yeah.
And then the co-main event is the one that's next on the list: Alexa Grasso versus Manon Fiorot.
Yes. So this, you know, a fight that's really gonna happen for the title.
Correct.
You know, I love it. I think Grasso should take it. I hope it doesn't end up being an uninteresting, boring fight because they're both super technical strikers
But Manon Fiorot is so big and long.
with the well-rounded game. But she doesn't strike to kill.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, she definitely does not strike to kill.
She's a point fighter, more or less, but she's so strong.
So strong.
Yeah. And but we said that about Valentina, and then Grasso jumped on her and choked her.
Her out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
And then got her again, like, you know, like, and then fought her, right? Like,
yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
and
You
then
never know.
the cherry on this Lady Sunday, the fight that I know if you are a true blue UFC fan, it is probably the most anticipated fight that might never happen.
That might never, it might be nothing, but.
Kayla Harrison, bantamweight champ, draws Amanda Nunes out of retirement for a pay-per-view to match all pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think that would bring it so much attention. I would hope they would market it, you know, but a card like that is like, we're dreaming, huh?
We're dreaming.
They would never sink money into it like that, but I think it would be awesome to watch that.
Although I would
all the
say
way
this,
through.
And it's unfortunate, I don't believe the ladies' demand, and I don't mean demand as in asking, I mean the demand for them isn't as high, so I don't think they get paid nearly as much.
Right.
I think paying all these fighters would be on par with a very good fight night.
Yeah.
You know, or like UFC 301.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
UFC 301 probably would cost as much, maybe less than this entire card.
Right.
So unfortunately, and you know, neither one of us agree with that type of stuff, but it just facts is what they is.
It's a cool sounding card, though.
Yeah.
I like it. You know, I don't know. That would, you know, people would have all kinds of problems. It would turn into a feminist thing, and
Yeah.
it's like, how many all male cards have there been?
And more than you can count.
Yeah.
And this is post Ronda Rousey and Amanda Nunes. We've had pay-per-views without a single female fight on it. So this is not out of the realm of possibility. I think you would draw so many bandwagon female fans.
They would just jump to watch it. They would buy tickets to the show. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it would be an unprecedented event, and I think it gives good press to the UFC. We're gonna have
Absolutely.
a female-dominated card.
And could show you can progress, because there was one time that Dana White said, you know, women are meant to be pretty.
Yeah,
And I don't want to see them fighting,
and they'll never fight in the UFC.
fight in the UFC.
And Ronda Rousey changed that mind, so maybe one day we will get an all-female
I
card.
hope so. Yeah.
And then
Why
that
not?
leads me to my next card, because we still got plenty of time. We didn't spend too much time on that.
Right.
So I actually want to get to this second card, a card that I have that's, you know, it's close to my heart. It's something I've wanted to see happen, something that, you know, a lot of fans have been asking for, and UFC fighters, but it's time for the UFC to go to Africa.
Oh, absolutely.
And-
You know, there's so many places in Africa that you can find. You've been so many places around
Yeah.
the world. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, you've got Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria. There's all these places that would that have a place, an arena that you can pack.
Oh, yeah.
And it would make history. UFC Africa, and the best part about that is anytime the UFC goes to a country, they load the card with fighters who have origins from that continent, country, whatever the case may be. So I put together this card. I put together, for anybody who's ever seen my socials, I've put together probably 3 or 4 different Africa cards based on the fighters who are most prominent or available in the UFC. So this is my latest card, one that got me super excited. So let's start from the bottom with some of the guys who might be a little lesser known, but really not so much. I got David Onama, who's actually fighting in this upcoming fight night, Saturday night, against a recently lost contender, Alexander Hernandez.
Wow, that's a big fight for Onama.
Big fight.
Yeah,
early prelims. It's actually not that many spots up, especially with this loss. It dropped him down.
Yeah, and Hernandez isn't ranked too high. So, yeah. I like it.
So it could be an excellent fight. Someone who needs to earn his way back up the ladder after a devastating loss, Sadiq Youssef.
Wow, right.
And I'll ask you who you think he should face, because I got 2 guys. No, I have 2 guys for you to choose from, right?
Okay.
And both guys coming off big losses. Both guys who desperately need a win, probably more than Sadiq Youssef. The first one a little lower, second one a little higher.
Okay.
First, I got Bryce Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
Which I think would be very entertaining. Hopefully he doesn't say anything too stupid while being in Africa.
Right. Yeah.
Not to say that he would say anything of, inappropriate nature, but he's a country boy. Sometimes people say stupid shit. Or Calvin Kattar.
That's it, yeah.
Calvin Cater's got 3 losses in a row.
3 losses in a row got to drop you down a good few spots.
And a bad loss for Sadiq Youssef.
Big time loss for Sadiq Youssef. We didn't see that coming. Well, I bet on Diego.
You bet on him to win. We just didn't see the way he lost coming.
I didn't think it would be that quick and devastating. I don't know that I like the Kattar fight so much. Maybe that's a little bit high of a jump, but maybe not.
Well, I put Bryce Mitchell first, and then I saw Calvin Kattar's losses.
I think when you pick Bryce Mitchell, it makes it a grappling fest, and I think Sadiq can kind of hang with him probably.
Okay.
Now. So that might be the more entertaining fight against Bryce Mitchell. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say Bryce Mitchell.
Let's go Bryce Mitchell. All right, and then we got Balassi Oki versus Alex Munoz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to feel the card.
Yep.
It might not get too exciting, but, people will fight, especially the African fighters will fight big on the home soil.
100%. They're gonna fight to win or die.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And then to round out the early prelims, we got Nasrat Hakparast versus Joey Selecki.
Okay. Selecki, I ain't seen him in a while.
I don't remember the last time we seen him.
Great grappler. Nasrat, well-rounded all around. What is he, Moroccan or?
Yes, he's Moroccan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, African.
African,
sure.
100%. All right, and then
always entertaining.
Always entertaining. The Kelvin Gastelum light.
Yeah.
We move on to the prelims, and I got Ainge Lusa.
Okay.
New to the UFC.
I know.
One or 2 fights in, taking on Trevin Giles.
Okay, it's a big.
I'm giving everybody
matchup.
a jump.
Yeah,
everybody a jump.
Why not? Trevin Giles not ranked too high. I don't think. I mean, Ange obviously not even ranked at all, but I don't think, right?
No. I think I'm pretty sure Giles is below the 15 mark.
Yeah.
And Lusa is below that, but he's doing well in the UFC.
I think below
won his last fight.
If you're below 15, it matters, just more who's streaking. I mean,
and Giles is coming off a loss,
and obviously he's got the name, though. Trevin Giles, a little bit of a name.
If you're a true UFC fan, he's got a little bit of a name.
Yeah. But I like that.
Yeah. Then we got a big name. I wanted to put him higher, but he just hasn't earned that yet, but his name rings out for people who are a fan of The Rock.
Yeah.
Thembe Gorimbo versus Brian Battle.
Oh,
And
okay.
that is a jump for
That's
Thembe.
a big jump against, to the Ultimate Fighter winner. Did he win his last fight, Thembe?
Thembe knocked dude out in his last fight.
yeah.
Like it was an early knockout.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Did Battle have a weird one last one with the
eye poke,
the eye
and the
pokes?
dude he said the dude was being the B word and didn't want to fight, was looking for a way out.
Right.
And I don't think Thembe is gonna be looking for a way
No,
out.
definitely not. I think he's the type of kid too. You give him the big opportunity, he'll show up
Correct.
and make it a big time fight. But Battle won't go away for him
At all.
that-
No. Battle's coming in to take away your hype, and he's gonna be mad because he's taking a lower opponent.
I kind of love it.
I think this would be probably have an opportunity for fight of the night.
Yeah, and they, their name is kind of the same level.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Agreed. They both have a little bit of notoriety, but this could turn the tables for either one of them.
Right. Battle has shown that he's earned his notoriety.
Absolutely.
Winning the show and yeah.
And Thembe's got 2 or 3 wins in the UFC undefeated, so it would be exciting. Next one, and I do think I should have put this last fight ahead of this one, but I was just kind of putting it together piece by piece. But Chidi Njokuani versus Danny Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What's division? What division is it?
I want to say it's welterweight.
Yeah, I think it's welterweight.
It could be light, but I'm pretty sure it's welter.
Yeah, no, it's I was trying to think if it was welter or middleweight, but yeah, and Njokuani's welterweight. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Entertaining fight, and these guys are going to absolutely put on a show for you. The next one, this one was really hard for me. I'm going to be honest, I just put 2 guys together who were closely
We're still
matched.
on the prelims, right?
We're still on the prelims. We got this one and one more. Abdul Razak Al Hassan
Okay.
versus
the judo guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Versus Abush Pinyan Magomedov.
I can't say I know who that is.
I don't know who he is, but he was ranked above him.
Okay.
I know who Abdul is. I've seen him fight.
Yes.
I believe he did win his last fight. He's a very big, stocky dude,
Yeah.
short hair. And this would just give him a fight to propel him up the ranks just a little bit
You
more.
gotta have a filler.
Yeah.
Even on the home card, yeah, like you see the Irish cards and then you'll have a random Irish guy and you're like, who's that?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
He needs an opponent too.
I probably should have put him in the early prelims and Sadiq Yusuf into the prelims.
Yeah.
But I was putting this card together, and was just looking for the names.
You
I
needed a
didn't.
filler.
I didn't organize it well enough, but I think close enough.
Yeah.
And then for the main event of the prelims, I had to put the brother in,
Okay.
Mohammed Usman versus a seasoned, well-known vet in Andrei Arlovsky.
Oh, yeah.
Straight boxer.
Still fighting well too.
Yes.
Right? He didn't retire yet.
No.
Still fighting, super experienced. Maybe a little slower, but he knows how to use, where his body is
Yes.
at this point in life, and
Got the footwork and the hands.
and shows some
Not as much, but
shows still that he can still win.
Yeah.
I might even have to call that for Arlovsky. But
it could go that way. The one thing I respect about Muhammad Usman is that for a guy his size, those guys are usually like rage punchers.
Yeah.
And he's not a spray and pray. He's definitely a
It's
little
true.
bit more calculated, but I think his boxing lacks a little bit. He doesn't have a lot of. He doesn't know how to work his way into distance.
I think his timing.
Yeah.
For sure. And yeah, you'd have to be sharp to beat Arlovsky.
Yeah. So will he work his wrestling?
Yeah.
You
Have
know?
to. I think you have to fight Arlovsky. Too good.
All right, I got one coming into the main event, and this is a guy I've been a fan of. He lost his last fight, but I'm a big fan of him. Kennedy Nzechukwu.
Yeah.
taking on the rising, falling, re-rising star of Ryan Spann.
Oh yeah,
This could be a tough one.
Got an upcoming fight, I think this weekend.
He's the co-main event in the
I like
fight
Ryan
night.
Spann. Good jiu-jitsu skills, big power, too, explosive. Kennedy always like just a little bit short. Doesn't go enough. Like
No.
he's got great hand speed, good punching, and just doesn't go enough. I think.
Yeah, he's got to put his foot on the gas, and if you're fighting Ryan Spann, even more so.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a cardio problem, but
I don't think it is, because even in his last fight when he lost, like he turned it on in the third round and went hard in the last 2 minutes of the round. I don't think cardio's a problem. I think it's kind of a Raquel Pennington thing. I think it's a bit of confidence.
just not enough output.
Yeah. All right, now we got a return of the Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman, taking on maybe his toughest opponent yet in Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love it. At welterweight, obviously.
Correct.
Title contention for sure. It's got to be a number one contender fight.
Got to be a number one contender fight. And Usman deserves an opportunity to get back in that spot. I mean, and in all reality, who did he lose to? Just the champ.
Right.
Twice, but just the champ.
Just the champ.
And then the one other fight he lost was at middleweight.
Right.
That shouldn't count against him.
And
he
not
should
by
be
a
top
lot.
of the he should still be top of the division. And
agree.
so I think this would be an excellent fight to decide who would be the next title contender.
Yes.
Then we got Dricus du Plessis in the co-main event.
Yeah. African born.
Now,
African bred.
my bias is saying that this is post loss to Izzy.
Okay.
Another caveat.
Yes.
Post loss to Izzy.
Yeah, these are fantasy cards, people remember.
Correct.
You know?
So hypothetically speaking, let's just say Izzy lost to him. These fights would reverse, and du Plessis would become the main event. So obviously this isn't even happening, so it doesn't matter. Dricus du Plessis with the rematch against Sean Strickland, a fight that
fantastic.
should have been rescheduled as soon as it
immediately.
ended.
It should have been an immediate rematch. I completely agree. I think maybe we both think that Sean did enough to win that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know why they didn't get a rematch there.
Yeah, so I think this is the rematch everybody wants to see. And, it opens the door for the number one contender. The guy who presumably lost to Izzy versus the guy who beat Izzy better than anybody ever beat Izzy.
Absolutely.
And then, for the main event, you got to put Israel Adesanya. And who better for him to defend his first title defense against than Khamzat Chimaev at middleweight?
I like it. I think Khamzat's got more traveling problems than anything when it comes to booking this man a fight.
Yeah.
It's weird. But would he be a good champion? I don't know.
I think he would be a terrible champion.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have good character.
No. And I think he would be, non-existent and tough to get to fights even. But anyways, that's a great matchup. It's hard to think that Israel doesn't get, just taken down and mauled, though.
Yeah.
We've seen him, wrestled by the big Jan Blachowicz, but he was big, But I don't know that he can defend takedowns from Khamzat. Kamaru couldn't really,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. All right, so we got about 15 minutes left, right?
Still? Really?
Yeah, maybe even a little more than 15. So I think it's about 15 minutes. So I got 2 cards left, and we can only do one. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to hear the BMF card or the never gonna happen fantasy?
Never
gonna happen. There's no way they could ever put this fight card together. It's too many stars. So the star-studded cast, UFC 400, if it happened in like 6 months,
Right.
or a UFC BMF card.
Oh, BMF. So BMF would be, they might not be champions. They
Pretty much no championship fights. No championship fights, actually.
Just some.
Actually, one.
rubbish.
The main event would be a championship card.
Yeah, let's see that one. I want
All
to hear
right.
that one.
So we're gonna start at the bottom in the heavyweight division.
Okay.
Robelis Des Payne
Okay. Yeah.
versus Andre Ovlovsky.
What? Yeah. Old man
Yeah.
versus the crazy new guy.
Yeah.
You know, that wild stuff. Like, it's hard to see Andre getting hit by some wild craziness. You know,
Correct.
He's not coming at you, uncalculated. He might be able to wear him down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's all that needs to happen to that kid, probably. You know what I mean? Is somebody to calm him down.
Calm him down. Give him a little spanking.
Yeah. Like, that stuff don't work with everybody. And where are you if we got to go into round 2? Yeah.
So this is one I had to throw in to get, another female fight in there. Strawweight division,
Yeah.
Lauren Murphy
Okay, she's BMF.
versus Karine Silva.
Okay.
Yeah.
They BMF.
Yeah.
I like
These
it.
are two bad men.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Like, that's the criteria of the fight.
And then to round out the early prelim, I had to put Molly McCain back on this card
Yeah.
versus Lupita Godinez.
Yes. Loopy.
Yes.
Is a tough little girl. And, Molly's always a scrapper.
And these girls are going to bang it out.
I like it.
All right. And then this fight, when I came up with it, kind of excited me. I would just like to see this as a fight night main event. But Chito Vera,
Okay.
who is definitely the king of BMF,
Definitely BMF.
he's a prince of BMF. Maybe not king. Versus Umar Nurmagomedov.
Ooh, Umar Nurmagomedov.
This allows Umar to prove how tough he is,
Yeah.
while also rising in the ranks.
I love it. Yeah. That's a good one.
Exciting fight. Next, now I got to bring two other girls in from the previous card. Jessica Andrade
Definitely BMF.
versus Angela Hill.
Again, BMF.
BMF.
All around, they just fit the criteria.
They fit the criteria.
I think the big power doesn't stop Angela Hill. She might get a decision.
And the technical fight, the technical striking of Angela Hill could really take this over.
She might get the decision there.
This is one that I really loved as well. Sneaky, underrated. Rafael Fiziev
Yeah.
versus Benoit Saint Denis.
BMF fight.
Oh
That's
my
a BMF
God!
fight.
This is a
I
BMF.
like it. It's gritty. I think Fiziev forces Saint Denis to wrestle.
Yeah.
I think Fiziev is a good enough defensive wrestler to get some fun out of that. It's a good fight.
And they're gonna bang on each other. This one, some people might disagree with me. I don't know. Maybe you might disagree with me too. But I think the first guy has proven, because of his willingness to fight anybody, that he's a BMF. Gilbert Burns
oh yeah.
versus Sean Brady.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Brady, went undefeated so long, and then he got tested, and yeah, it's
He had to-
fantastic. Too hard to hurt. You can't finish him. Gilbert fight anybody,
anytime.
That's BMF. Fight.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, and then the main event of the prelims, Amir Albazi
Yeah.
versus Brandon Moreno.
Again, yeah, these could all just be 5 rounds of just
Craziness.
or first round finishes. This one's a 5 round. That's or 3 rounds because
Yeah.
it's prelim, but that's going the distance.
Yes.
They're both beat up.
And they're both beat to hell.
Yeah.
All right, so then we jump in to the main event where we got to start it off as strong as one could start it off. Bobby Green
Yeah.
versus Patty the Batty Pimbleton.
I love that because there's no implications of rank probably, and it's just 2 guys, don't like each other, just want to fight.
Yes.
And
And I have to say, I messed up. I missed one in the main event. And these are 2 guys who fought each other before in the Africa card. Manel Kopp versus Kai Kara France for
Okay,
a
in the
rematch.
Africa card,
In
yep.
the Africa card. I
Manel
apologize for those who were excited about that, about hearing the card. I missed one, so I had that as the second fight in the main event.
Because people were like, yo, he didn't say Manel Kopp.
Yeah.
We was going to get hundreds of comments.
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of comments, yeah. All right, this next one, we got to get the rematch between Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa.
Oh yeah, with the stunning ending, and I think that was like one of the big downfall points of Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And I miss him.
I miss him so much.
Right?
He's got a fight coming up soon,
Yeah.
where he's headlining. But yeah, I think these two are two of the baddest dudes in the heavyweight division, and I think they would put on another great show.
And they're kind of both in the same spot again.
Yeah. All right, and then we have to put Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland, and in the middleweight division, these
great.
two might be the baddest dudes there are.
That's great. Definitely two BMFs.
Buddies too. They've worked together.
Right. That's a good one.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And then this one, it's already happening. Unfortunately, I actually called this fight after UFC 300, but Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree, which it's a fight that we're already getting. It's scheduled, but I thought this would have been a dope BMF fight.
Maybe on paper, some people think that, Khalil Roundtree is getting the jump because, Jamal was a former champion, just lost to the champ. But Roundtree is surging. He's always deserved to be at the top of the heap, and I'm glad to see him there.
100%. He's earned his spot. He has grinded out to get get to this place. He has turned a corner, and he is ready for this fight 110%.
Yes. That's a great fight.
And then for the main event of this card, the BMF of all BMF, Max Blessed Holloway, trying to take away the featherweight title from Ilia Topuria while also putting the BMF belt up for grabs.
I like it. Topuria, first glance maybe hasn't earned BMF status, but when you look, the beating he gives to Josh Emmett, over 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Knocking out Volk when Volk was, really unhurtable for so long. Yeah, okay, that's BMF for
That
sure.
is BMF for sure. And I just thought, exciting cards. Maybe if we have time next week, I might be able to throw that last one in the fantasy card. That will never happen. But don't forget Fight Night. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Nicolau versus Perez.
Hell yeah.
And there's a lot of good fights.
It should be good.
Co-main event, Ryan Spann versus Bogan Guskov. That's a good one. And then Ariana Lipsky versus Karine Silva.
That's a good one. That's a good lady fight.
So we got some good fights for you. Until then, drafts this weekend for the NFL. And until next week, we'll see you. Have a good night.
Peace.